How's it going, everybody? Today we're working on a 98 Wrangler TJ, replacing the steering box. I just called the local Napa and they got one in stock, so I'm going to pick it up tomorrow. I'm going to remove it tonight. We got a leak right out of the sector shaft. You can see the drip on the pitman arm nut right down there. So we're going to get this thing out of here. Never done one before. So I don't really know what I'm getting into, but should be relatively easy. If I run into any troubles, I'll be sure to post what I find out. But for now, we've got her up in the air, and I'm going to start draining the fluid, removing the lines. I'm also going to replace the power steering lines. So I'll get this project started. Looks like there's 3 bolts through the frame here. Luckily the plow frame is notched out nicely around the steering box mounting bolts. So we're gonna pull that stuff apart, and I'll pick this video up here shortly. Alright, so just wanted to give a quick update on the line placement so anybody that's doing the lines doesn't get screwed up. It should be pretty straightforward at the pump end. However, down at the box it may not be. So this is the pressure line right here. You follow it down underneath, it's the inside line, and it goes to the frontmost fitting on the box. Let me shine the light on it. That one right there. So you can get to this pretty easily by removing that little front Jeep plastic that goes over the sway bar, and you can get to that front fitting pretty easily, and then the rear fitting you can get to from the wheel well area, which is right there. So I got them all loose. Actually, I was very surprised. This thing actually has minimal rust for a 98, so I'm gonna keep on removing this box and we'll pick it up in a second. Thanks. So we've got a steering shaft bolt right there, that 1/2-inch socket size. Just loosen that up, and I'll pop a pry bar in there between the box and the steering shaft, and it should collapse to get the shaft off. But I just wanted to show you, it was pretty caked in grease, so I couldn't even really see that there was a bolt there. So it is right at the bottom of the shaft connecting to the steering gear. Alright, so I got the old box out, and remember how I said everything was coming apart so nicely regarding the lines, and steering shaft came off wonderfully. Well, I must have jinxed myself because the pitman arm was a real you-know-what, and I got it off, but I ended up having to remove the box first so I could get a good strike on the round part of the pitman arm, this part here. So any of these tapered joints, like a tie rod in like this, if you strike right here, you know, it shocks that tapered housing when you hit it, and it expands a little bit each time you hit it. So a lot of times you can shock them free. The other thing that made this a little difficult is this plow frame, this Western plow frame. It was real tight coming out of there because the body of the steering box hit the radiator. I don't know if I'm giving you a good angle or not, but then it hit the top of the plow frame right there. So it was pretty tricky getting it out. But she's in the box, ready to go back for a core tomorrow, and we'll pick up the new one and the new lines and some fluid. And then I got a growling going on with this thing too. I think we're gonna pull the rear diff cover and check the gear set tomorrow as well. I also have a loose exhaust flange at the manifold. I don't know if I'll be able to see it. That guy right there, it's broken right there where my light is. So the rest of the pipe is pretty darn good shape. So I'm going to pull that. There's a bolt on the other half of that locking or clamping flange, which I haven't seen before. So I'm going to remove all the bolts. I'm going to weld a little strap on the side that's rotted away and put that son of a gun back on, so I don't have to replace the whole pipe. So we'll follow up with that stuff hopefully tomorrow. Thanks. Have a good night.